What's up, all my musicians out there? So compression and using a compressor is one of the most crucial and fundamental parts of music production. But as you can imagine, there's a lot of settings, and especially when you're just getting started, it can be super overwhelming trying to understand all these different settings and knobs and controls on a compressor. So I found this picture from MixAnalog.com, and in my opinion, this is the best analogy I've ever heard when it comes to learning a compressor and understanding what a compressor does and the different settings on that. So as it says here, the compressor is like your mother. Now, wording it super simply, and I'm oversimplifying this a lot, all the compressor really does is just turn down the sound. That's pretty much all it does. But as you can imagine, there's a lot of technicalities that come to play with that. So pretend like you're playing music, you're at your house and you're blasting music. The threshold on a compressor is the level she asks you to turn the music down. So let's say you're cranking it and it's on like a numerical dial and you get to volume number 12 and she says, hey, turn it down. That's basically like the threshold of basically turning the music down. The ratio now is how much you turn down the volume after she shouts at you. So when it comes to the ratio, it's basically almost on the graphical representation you can see on some DAWs. This is basically the intensity of how much you lower the sound after that basic threshold is reached. So essentially, let's say you're turning it up, you get to dial 12 and just, hey, turn it down. You go, oh, shoot, and you turn it all the way down. That'd be like an extreme ratio. But let's say you're like, oh, okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. And you go from 12 to 10 or 12 to just 11, that's like a very light ratio. The attack is how fast you react. For example, let's say you're sitting at your desk, you're like, oh shoot, and you turn it down immediately, that'd be a very quick attack. A long attack would be like you sitting on your bed listening to music, and you're like, okay, mom, and you slowly get up and you walk over and you turn it down. That'd be a very long attack. And release is how fast you turn the volume up after she basically leaves, or as it says here, closes the door. So essentially, we've all been there where you turn it down and then you're like, okay, she's gone. All right, now I'm just gonna turn it back up to 12. Hope she doesn't notice it. Now, I wanna add in one more setting or element to compression that's not on this, and that is sidechain compression. Now, sidechaining is one of the most iconic things, especially in electronic music. All you're doing with sidechain compression is essentially turning the volume down or turning an element down when another element is triggered. So to use this analogy again, pretend like your mom's having a party. She has a bunch of people over, and you're like, ah, you know what? I'm just gonna go into my room and listen to music. So while you're playing the music, you'll hear the party in the background. You hear people talking, people doing whatever they're doing, and you're playing some music. A sidechain compressor is like, let's say any single time your mom says, hey, turn it down, you turn it down. But while she's talking, you're not gonna turn it down, obviously, because she's talking with her friends, she's hanging out, but you only turn it down any single time she says, hey, turn it down. And that similar to a sidechain compressor only happens or only gets triggered when another element triggers it.